Hi guys, how you doing? Good evening. My name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 4:20 p.m.
It's 4:20 p.m. on a Wednesday evening and it's pitch black outside, it's dark. So good evening everybody. I hope you've all had a great day so far. I've been at home for most of the day. I took Max out for a walk this afternoon. I'm just trying to keep happy on a dull and miserable day. It's been not as cold as it has been, but it's been quite cold. So I've been watching the news today, as I've shown you in a previous video. So what is on now? Let me just turn the telly on.
Crew members. Most
BBC
of them have
News.
been found alive. The Egyptian army oversees the ongoing rescue operation.
5
Now,
rescued
looking
from
for a
Red
few
Sea
people
capsized
still
tourist
unaccounted
boat.
for.
The reception was on board
Yes.
with a warm shower,
Yeah.
the dinner after an
What else? Sky News with
Yes,
Kamali
safety.
Melbourne. Kamali Melbourne. Melbourne is in Australia.
Action for children and give a
The
gift
adverts.
of £15 today.
Adverts are on Sky News.
Wash freshness. A line sent as focus.
So interesting surnames. I was watching, obviously, the television this morning, the news, and one of the MP surnames had the word hell in it. Hell. Hell. Yeah. You look at the surnames as you're watching the TV, the funny surnames that appear on the television, makes you wonder if we are living in the real world. It really does. So I just get on with my life by myself and keep safe and try and keep warm. There has been no post today at all, so I'm afraid there's nothing to show you, not even a piece of junk mail. I've had no post. And let's go back to yesterday when I received a video and the guy, it's supposed to be a joke, and the guy said that, who's that scruffy looking bloke over there with his ugly daughter? That is what was said. That's what I watched. So you've got to remember, it's like play acting, silly play acting. So normally I go up to see my mum every week, don't I? My mum leaves me a lovely message on the phone telling me she's in all day to call her. When I call my mum up in a happy mood, my mum doesn't want to speak to me. She wants to try and get me off of the phone. So, it's all very funny, isn't it? It's bloody hilarious, the games that people play, and I don't want toxic people in my life. And in fact, they're the ones that lose out in the end, because they failed to upset me. I'm still standing up strong and I've still got a smile on my face, so more fool them. So I haven't gone out to the co-op. So I haven't actually gone really anywhere apart from 2 dog walks. And I haven't ordered anything online. There's been no takeaways and nothing. So it's been pretty boring today. But I've been practicing my singing. I've uploaded Terry Jack's Season in the Sun. That's a really sad, moving song, to Star Maker app. I'm getting a lot of people following my channel and a lot of people saying positive things. And thank you for that, who's ever in there doing that. I've done a couple of videos to TikTok. And I just think that people like me are pawns in their game. Pawns in their game where they try and manipulate and trying to get you to act stupid like a puppet on a string. Now, I'm not falling for it anymore. From about 2 o'clock this afternoon or just before, Nextdoor has been extremely noisy, right? Just mimicking noises that come from what sounds like upstairs. Because she's got children next door. She's got children that probably don't go to school, so they're toddling about, which is understandable. I can understand that. But, you know, you want to break from it. It's not funny. So for about 4 hours, you know, I've been trying to watch my TV set, and I've been trying to just have some me time, some peace time, and they start being noisy next door. Sounding like the same noises coming from upstairs, but next door. And I fail to get cross. I will not get cross, because that is what they want you to do. Or go outside and do something stupid and probably end up in a prison cell. And it's not happening. You know, I don't know. They've got nothing more to do. They must have so much time on their hands. Their whole point of life is to irritate, annoy me. What for? I don't know. It's horrible. It's just like, you know, you're trying to watch your telly, and these noises, the telly won't block it out. Normally it does. So their microwave oven is right near my wall. I can hear their microwave ping. So obviously their kitchen area must be near my kitchen area, right opposite. So they're obviously flapping about in the kitchen, and you can hear everything they're doing. So if I can hear everything they're doing, they probably can hear everything I'm doing and saying, so I'm just keeping quiet. It's ridiculous, isn't it? That you can hear, the walls are that thin, you can hear somebody's microwave oven going off. Ping! So whoever it is has been in the kitchen all day. It sounds like they're opening and shutting drawers, picking up furniture and moving it. It sounds awful. And that's what happens at the weekends above my ceiling. However, I can go into another room, but I can assure you, if I go into that room, something is starting there. So I looked in my mailbox when I went downstairs to go out, and my mum and dad had said to me that I should probably send me a letter later on in the week. So I knew there wasn't going to be any post anyway. I haven't ordered anything. My shopping will come later on next week. And you struggle on. You struggle on. When it gets towards the end of the week, you know what it's like. You're finding things to cook, things that, you know, noodles, soup, and bits you don't really want, but it's something to eat. Because I had a load of bills coming out this month. And I'd rather pay my bills than be in a load of debt. So there you go. Yeah, obviously I'll probably go to the co-op later on this week. But I'm being careful with my money. I don't want my electricity to go. I'd rather be heated and warm in here than spend the money that I have got on a load of crap that gets put away in cupboards. Now I wanted to show you my little tree. My little tree from Mr. Flower. This is my little tree from Mr. Flower. Here, the baubles come off. I just found some old little decorations. There's a little reindeer. It's a 2-foot fir tree that I got from Mr. Flower, and I'm just finding little decorations from last year and putting them on the tree. So you've got some baubles there. There was a heart bauble. Max, don't worry about what's happening outside. So I've just been like decorating this little tree, finding little decorations for it. There we go. I've got my Christmas lights up over by the wall. When it gets close to Christmas, I've got Merry Christmas like foil balloons, which are going to go across there. We've also got these candles that came from Sainsbury's that light up. I've got 2 of these that are lit up by the telly. No dangerous candles, that's just battery operated. So, why have the lights not working on the tree now? It's probably because the battery's fallen out. Wonderful. Put them back in. That's it. Lights back on. So yeah, even though I'm on my own, I try and you know, make it look a bit Christmassy. I've got the lights on the tree over here. So the stupid games they play, it's really not worth it, is it? Trying to stop somebody just enjoying themselves and being happy just to get someone going and make them angry and miserable. But I'm not, because I like being by myself. So Max and I went out this afternoon. There was one man behind me in a red plastic raincoat, and the guy was thin. The guy was thin, and he was in a red plastic mat behind me, walking his dog. Came back into the flats, and I cooked myself up some custard, and I had a nice pudding. And I've just been like singing music, and there's just been a load of noise next door, annoying noise. Like somebody's walking up and down, running up and down, clonking the wall, moving things. And it sounds like the noise from upstairs, but next door. And I just get on with my life. I don't, you know, and the more you ignore them, the more noise they make. But then I still ignore them. So it's a useless, pointless waste of time. It is. So my son is in Hawaii. Alexa, what is the time in Hawaii?
In Hawaii, it's 6:33 a.m.
It is 6:33 in the morning in Hawaii. 6:33 in the morning. I bet it's lovely and hot as well. Sunshine, nice beaches. It's bloody cold and damp and miserable here. But I like my feet on the ground. I'm quite happy where I am. I am. So guys, the rest of the evening I've got my I listen to music. I listen to the radio. I listened to the radio last night. Let's put LBC radio on and see what they're talking about today, because this morning they were talking about fat people that were fat receiving free injections for weight loss to get themselves back to work. So let's see what's on this afternoon or this evening. Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London from Global Player. Command code. Fees and charges apply.
But they're
Cathay
adverts.
Pacific has been crowned the world's best economy class airline. And we'll be the first to admit we did make the awards judges very comfortable. Yes, they were provided ample food and drink, and sure, they were given advanced access to the latest film releases. We may have also offered them hot towels, because this Skytrax Airline Award was voted for by passengers like you. Cathay Pacific, move beyond.
What's that, Mr. Grinch? You have something to reveal. You are now in McDonald's Happy Meal. Well, this must be why you're so full of glee, which is a very rare sight for all to see. Oh my, and what is the reason? Of course, it's the festive season. Choose a Grinch book or toy for your little ones until the 31st of December. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 31st of December, subject to availability from 11 a.m. Book or toy choices between toy or book, not the specific item or range.
Tom Swarbrick on LBC. Call 0345 6060 973.
4:35 at the time, talking a few moments about the plans that are underway to crack down on antisocial behaviour, including a unique tactic being deployed by police in Bromley. More in a moment. Here's David in Reading. Tom, regarding Bitcoin, I bought some relatively recently and I'm currently £30,000 up. So yes, it's a wealth generator. Well, only if you sell it, presumably, and keep the money. I knew we needed the words of a sensible woman. Here's Marita in Lambeth. Marita.
Tom, you crack me up. So I'm going to say something, and you may not like it, but I hope you'll bear with me till I get my points out. I remember ringing your show. It was probably one of my first calls ever to your show at the beginning of this year, and we talked about Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And at that time, Bitcoin was £42,000, or $42,000 rather. And I think part of the problem about Bitcoin and the whole industry surrounding Bitcoin is that media only tend to get involved when the price goes gangbusters, as you like to say. But we're not looking at it, and we're not giving people the information about it on the day-to-day and providing like normal use cases for the actual technology that Bitcoin sits on or crypto sits on. So in my mind, there's two buckets. One is like the real life use cases associated with crypto, and then the other side are like the meme coins where people can go and gamble to their heart's content. So that's the first thing, is that there needs to be more awareness in general about the use cases for Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain. The second thing I wanted to talk about was knowing where the top and the bottom is. One of your callers mentioned a liquidity cycle or the cyclical nature of Bitcoin, and that is true. If you go back and look at its history over the last 15 years, 10 years, came out in 2008, I think. If you look at the cyclical nature, it runs on like a 4 to 5 year liquidity cycle between the highs and the lows. And that's repeated over each of those cycles since it actually came out. So in a way, it is rather predictable. What's happening now is we're talking about it because the price has gone up. People will have a tendency to jump in now as it's approaching its top. And those will be the people that won't want to hold it for another 4 or 5 years. They'll get scared and they'll start selling it as it's on its way back down again. And that's what a liquidity cycle is associated with crypto. The third thing I wanted to talk about is a really strong use case. And in order to explain this, I have to explain something else, so just bear with me. Now, it's really interesting. So when you buy something
I
in
hope
the
it is,
stock market...
Marita, because I'm watching the listener numbers crater, but carry on.
No, but this is really important, and this will actually explain why there is going to be a huge need for and demand for crypto and blockchain technology going forward. Why it's not just a flash in the pan. So currently, if you buy something on the stock market, you don't buy and sell it on the same day. Like the transaction doesn't complete instantaneously. It takes 2 days for it to complete. It's called T+2. A lot of people don't know that. What the technology associated with crypto does, blockchain, is that you have automatic settlements. So they've been trialing this technology in New York, or they were at least a couple of years ago, about having instantaneous settlements on the stock market. once they roll that out, what you're actually going to find is the stock market will move from a Monday to Friday model to a 24/7 model like Bitcoin, and that's coming. It's in trials at the moment, and even last week in the Mansion House speech, Rachel Reeves is talking about government guilt being issued on blockchains within the next 2 years. So that's the information that's not getting out there to support all of these like really valid use cases and to give people kind of conviction or confidence in the actual technology associated with it. We're getting carried away with like the numbers and the money and the value, and that's all very exciting, particularly if you got in at the bottom. But we're not talking about the actual use cases.
So you think this is here to stay, whether it's in the form it currently is, but certainly with the technology it's using, this is now the future happening.
100%. So you have to ask yourself, why are the likes of BlackRock having like roadmaps with like crypto strategies and tokenization strategies? Why is Larry Fink going to meet like having private meetings with the PM last week?
Yes, I saw that.
Discussing that.
Yeah, I saw that. Marita, really interesting. Thank you very much indeed. I knew we needed to hear from a sensible person. Marita, thank you very much indeed. 03456060973. Back to your calls after this. 20 to 5. Next.
Those subject to a respect order could be banned from a town centre, as well as being compelled to address the root cause of their behaviour. For example, through mandated alcohol and drug treatment. There will be a power of arrest.
The government has brought in so-called respect orders to ban persistent nuisance folk from parks and town centres and pubs if they're engaging in antisocial behaviour. Police can arrest those who don't comply with it. Meanwhile, LBC has learned that police in Bromley are cracking down on loud late-night partygoers by giving them lollipops. They are being handed out by premises at closing time to try and reduce noise. Does that seem like a good idea? Norman Brennan is a former London police officer of 31 years, director of the Law and Order Foundation. Would you be seen handing out lollipops to antisocial, potentially loud club leavers, Norman? Hi.
Not at all. I can't actually believe that we're having this conversation. I'll tell you what, we don't need lollipops. What we need is Kojak and a little bit of tough love. I mean, antisocial behaviour is down to predominantly young children and youths under the age of 18. It's about drinking, drugs problems, they're angry and lost, graffiti, cycling, people cycling on pavements and on e-scooters, whizzing in between people. Somebody was nearly killed the other day by an e-scooter, imitating people in villages, towns and villages, breaking their car windows, breaking their houses, shouting abuse, shoplifting. I could go on and on and on. I've just heard Yvette Cooper talking about what she's going to do. Well, Tom, I've been old Bill and policing in 46 years. I'm old school. I've done thousands of interviews over the last 35 years trying to actually tell the government and the criminal justice system what they need to do. But when you actually look at this respect order, I've just told you the types of offences and antisocial behaviour are committed by children and youth. Do you know what? It doesn't apply to them. It only applies to adults.
So Aidan says, Norman, whilst you've been talking, the lollipop thing is soft power and a classic de-escalation technique. It plays to your dopamine receptors. And there actually is some research that says that fights are less likely to happen if people are eating. Do you not think this should be it's wise to try this?